Well, we are live, all the way live at BTT Studios. I am your host, Big Tommy C. This is what we call in the business the go home week for WrestleMania that was on Raw just now. And I remember way back in the day when I was on the road, us guys in production everywhere couldn't wait for the go home week because you know why? Once the show was over, we would do SmackDown, and then we're off to WrestleMania. And that was such a glorious time for us. So we're going to hit on what's going on here. We just saw CM Punk and Roman Reigns with some heavy words between each other. And I'll get into the main event, but I can't do it by myself, folks. You know I have to bring my partner in crime in, my girl, Gabby. What's up, Gab? Gabby?
On. I don't see myself. There we go. Oh my
There you
gosh, I
go.
got nervous. I said, what happened? Did I break my camera? No, I'm feeling good. I'm excited to talk. It is officially WrestleMania week. What a time to be alive. And, what a go home show for Raw. Some hits, some misses, as per usual. Excited to get into it.
Yeah, I thought, my first thought is that it didn't really do much to up my level of what, go home weeks are supposed to hit hard, big time. Ask Coach, ask anybody, Vince Russo, ask myself, who's been in the business, who worked the shows in production, guys working hard back home. Like your go home week, you are friggin' psyched you can't wait until 8 o'clock when the show was live coming on and see what we had. And it was just ho hum. There was some good stuff. We're going to talk about Oba, and we're going to right now talk about Punk and Roman Reigns in the main event for Sunday at WrestleMania. And it was kind of ho hum for me. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy was like the hits that they had were very good, and there wasn't anything where I was like, oh my god, I hate this incredibly. Like there was no miss where I was like, holy hell, I'm turning off my television. So I'll take it for the go home show, but I mean, I wish there was a little bit more oomph in the fact that it is the last Raw before WrestleMania. But I feel like they did save a few things for me, and they really built off some things for me as well. Obviously, the highlight of the night that we're going to talk about with Oba Femi.
Yep. Let's start out what we just saw. What ended the show
Okay.
was two major superstars, obviously. I mean, in Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and it seemed like this week, you kind of heard the same story again from Punk, but he changed it up a little bit. And Roman just stands there for about an hour, and he just looks down and doesn't say much. But I thought it really hit home for me when I was listening to Punk and Roman that they were kind of putting each other over, and that was a different aspect that I didn't expect to see, but they did it, and I respect it, and I like stuff when they're head to head. I hate when there's as you know, physicality every week. And that's all we've seen for the past couple of weeks between them and every other match at WrestleMania between Oba and Brock. And I think Oba and Brock are a little different, and we'll talk about that a little later on. But in this, I like them ending the show face to face, like boxing, like Ali Frazier back in the day. I thought it was some good stuff that Punk said, and boy, this guy cuts a promo like nobody else. I don't know if anybody is writing that stuff, but I think this is all him. And Roman is Roman. He's just a cool guy, low level, not getting too excited, not getting too high. He's right there. And I like them both looking at each other in the face. What did you think?
Listen, Punk's one of the best on the mic. I've been loving Roman's promos as well for the buildup of this feud, but it did kind of feel like kind of saying the same thing every single week. I wish there was some kind of way that the buildup for their feud had a little bit of different things happening to make us appreciate these promos a little bit more, because it's like, yeah, it's a good promo. We know we're going to get a good promo. We know there's going to be emotion. We know, like, whatever. Like, I feel like I've kind of heard Punk talk about where he comes from all the time. And, he always has these things to say about Roman. I almost wish the emotion came first and then the heated stuff came after to build the feud. Like when he talked about his father, when he talked about his family, when he talked about him eating dog food for a crazy man. Like, I understand he was pissed and in the moment and reacting to not a lot of stuff, but if that was the promo for the go home show for Raw, you're gonna tell me you wouldn't be fired up to see that a little bit more than like, "Oh, okay, so, like, they said all those things, but they really do respect each other, and they're gonna put each other over now." Like, "Okay, cool, so now I'm just gonna see a good match? I wanna see these guys hate each other and have that emotion involved in it." So, I think that's where I'm excited for it because I know it's gonna be a good match, and I know the story makes sense and all these things. There's emotion, there's anger, there's all these kinds of stuff, but it does seem a little bit like we've seen a lot of the same stuff, different font. So, I'm
Yeah.
a little torn on it, but it did save me from a few weeks of Raw where I was checking out of this feud. It kind of has saved me in the past couple weeks. I think Punk's promo last week and everything tonight has kind of reeled me back in for it.
Yeah, and his pipe bomb promo really that's what
Yeah.
brought me back into it. And, I got a quick question for you. When we watch WrestleMania on Sunday, and by the way, we are gonna have a watch along, we'll let you know details during the week on social media of WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. My question to you, Gabby, is what's the crowd gonna be like when they both enter? How's
Right.
it gonna be? You think it's gonna be more for Roman or more for Punk or kinda even?
I it's hard to tell because different cities, it's always different, like, I think they're both gonna be I think people are gonna pop for them huge. I don't think it's gonna be like massive boos for one and massive cheers for the other. It's hard for me to ever think the crowd won't be behind Punk because it's CM Punk and he
Yeah.
gets one of the biggest receptions ever. But Roman showing up every week so far has been getting a pretty massive reaction, a lot of cheers, a lot of people in his gear like chanting for him. So, I think it's going to be pretty torn, and I think it's almost cool to see a match like that because no matter who wins, it's kind of going to be an eruption in the crowd, which I love to see, and I think it will be a happy ending either way, hopefully. But I think I just feel like Punk's the safer choice to go with when you think about who the crowd's going to be behind the most. You know what I mean? It's CM Punk. They just love him.
You know what I want? I want them to bring Roman's old music back. I love the beginning of it.
Mm,
I love the whole thing. I'm not crazy about it. Even goes into that music that was kind of the same, but I love the beginning of his old entrance. And if they went back to that, I think the crowd would pop big time. It's probably not going to happen, but
yeah.
we're going to see what happens. So we kind of talked about it a little bit. Let's get into the women's championship match with Steph and Liv. And I got to tell you, man, I'm being a bigger fan of Liv every time I see her. She is so friggin' real. The emotion, her eyes at the end, screaming like a psychotic nut job. And I just love it, man. I love it. I can't wait. I actually can't wait to see this match right now. I was a little down on it, but
Yeah.
man, the past 2 weeks of her emotion and Steph slamming her and the bump on her head, and that was all a shoot, by the way. That was not
Right.
fake stuff for her. So
Yeah.
tell me your thoughts on that.
Listen, Liv Morgan let her New Jersey out, man. What are you talking about? That's a regular Saturday night for us Jersey girls. It's like that's why everybody's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Dude, what do you mean?" Like that's what we do. We're crazy. We're passionate. We're emotional. We're gonna scream, and it's gonna be like nothing ever happened. She probably went to the back and like was like, "Okay, cool, that was great," because like that's how we turn it on, and we could turn it off at the same time. So I was like, "Yeah, that's Liv Morgan, and that's why I love Liv Morgan." And as a fellow New Jersey girl, I'm like, that she's one of us. Like that's me. That's how I would be if someone was talking about, my family or whatever it was. So I love to see it. But yeah, I mean, Liv has that certain blood curdling scream where like you feel the emotion in her scream. And it's like no one else has that sound. You could hear it from anywhere and know it's Liv Morgan. And I just absolutely love it. I become such a massive Liv fan when I originally really wasn't at all. And I think the physicality, the emotion between them, even in the segment, like everyone's holding them back and they're busting through. Like
Yeah.
Stephanie was ripping her hair, pulling her hair, and like that's a
Yeah.
real girl fight. Okay, that's like what girls do in fights. We're not hitting each other with the elbows. Like girls go for the hair first when you have extensions and all that kind of stuff. So it's the most believable, honestly, hate that I see right now in what we're going into WrestleMania with. And I think that's going to steal the show for all the women's matches at WrestleMania.
Well, it's a lot more heat than you're seeing out of Jade and Rhea Ripley. What happened to them two, man? It is. I mean, tonight was that throwaway match, and then you saw Rhea come in. She gets knocked down. Jade come in. I mean, this storyline has gone nowhere with Rhea and Jade. Do you agree with me on this? I mean, it's just
I mean,
incredible how you have these two big stars in
right.
Jade and Rhea, and just nothing.
Everybody
I
else is
mean,
involved. It's like,
right,
why is Io in the match? Why is,
right.
you got Michin, you got BFAB now, you have Asuka on the side of it, and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, I don't know why it's not about the two people that we're going to be seeing at WrestleMania, and it's about all these other players. And like, I don't mind seeing more women on TV and and seeing this kind of stuff. And I think factions are cool. I think it's cool to have friends. I don't mind that part of it. But when the emotion's not there for a match, for a rivalry, it's like, why don't we kind of invest in making our audience invested in it? It's like, I don't want to go into it saying I don't care who wins. Like, that's never a good look to be like, well, whoever wins wins. Like, let's see what the next feud's going to be. Like, that's crazy. Not to mention, you've now had Io lose 2 matches back to back. So
Yep.
it's not helping her. It's not, elevating other women through the storyline. So I think for what it could be, when you look at a Jade Cargill and you look at a Rhea Ripley and see them in a match together, which makes sense, and it could be two beautifully beast-like women in there, like knocking each other around. I wish that was just the storyline we were going with, because if you book fantasy matches early on, Jade and Rhea were a lot of people's fantasy matches if you just look at them physically and all that kind of stuff. So it shouldn't have been that hard to book it with some emotion involved and investment. And they kind of missed the mark on it.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm checked out of that match big
Yeah.
time, and I'm not sure if Jade could carry it off in the ring. She can cut a promo, but I don't know if she can keep up with Rhea, where like you're talking about two beasts,
Yeah.
fancy type going at it. Because I'm not sure Jade is still clumsy in that ring, man.
I hope
And
so.
for her, when you see her, she's $1 million. She
Yeah.
cuts a promo, nobody looks better, but she can't wrestle. I mean, she's not a great wrestler, and that's not a great look at all. And I'm not sure if they might keep the title on her.
I think
They
they're
might.
going to. I think it would be
I think-
stupid if they didn't, to be quite honest, because
Yeah,
you're building this up. She hasn't had that. I don't know how many title defenses she's even had. We've barely seen her in the ring as champion. Okay, now you're building this feud. Rhea doesn't need to be champion. We've said it till the end of time. I love Rhea Ripley. You see the reaction every time she walks out. She doesn't need it. Okay, she's already had massive storylines with big names, and she's had the WrestleMania moments, all these things. She doesn't need it to be who she is, and she's a star. I think Jade needs to win if they're going to say, no, we're taking Jade seriously right now and we're going to continue on with her. And I think the only, the emotion and the next wrestler that makes sense for her is Charlotte, because I know when she first showed up at SmackDown, that was her first eye down was Charlotte. Charlotte talked about it, all these kinds of things. So I think you need to keep it on Jade. Otherwise, this was the biggest fluke of a championship win for somebody like Jade, because it did nothing for her.
yep.
And you kind of got to, as WWE, get behind her 100% to make sure the audience gets behind her 100%.
Yeah, I think she will keep it, and I hope it's Charlotte just to get her out of a tag team. This
Dude,
woman is
Charlotte tonight, I can't.
Yeah, this woman, Charlotte, is one of the top, and I'm gonna tell you, top 5 women superstars in pro wrestling today, and we have her in a tag match. In a tag match. I want to see her main event level, get the championship out, go after at Jade. They both look great. The only thing is, like again, Jade work in the ring, but I'm telling you, I don't get the whole Charlotte thing and the tag team and this and that. And Jade, I don't know. She looks like $1 million, like I said, but I hope she's working hard in that ring because she needs to give it a banger. Just think, this is WrestleMania,
Yeah,
Gabby. WrestleMania,
I
and
know.
we had no great promotion or storyline with Rhea or Jade at all. And there's a lot of other matches like that. Like, let's talk about Seth and Gunther and what we heard tonight. Tell me your thoughts on that, and I'll give you mine.
Listen, leave it to two of the best to kind of almost make you a little bit invested in something that came together so quickly. I mean, what's good about this match, at least we found out, why Gunther went after him. It doesn't really matter if it makes sense or not. You got to kind of make sense of it. It's 2 weeks that this match even came together. I think we kind of know where it's going. I think we know why it's happening with, the vision and all these kinds of things, what Seth was supposed to be doing. And like I said, I think if this is a payoff now where Gunther retires Brock and holds that favor over Paul, like then it makes sense and it's worth it. And like it kind of put the puzzle pieces together. But I will say, I don't think either one of them can lose clean. It would not make sense for either one of them to lose clean at WrestleMania, considering where they're going to be going after this match. I don't think it's going to be a long-standing feud between the two of them. And the upside is I'm like 99% positive it's going to be an awesome wrestling match. Like at least we know we're going to see a good match between these two guys, but it was thrown together kind of last minute and it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, they called an audible here. They knew
Yeah.
Braun Breaker wasn't ready, and they threw this match together. And lo and behold, we find out from Gunther he's pissed off at Rollins because Rollins thinks it's a joke. The best wrestler in WWE or in wrestling. This is one of the reasons why he's coming after him. It is just hilarious. When I heard that, I popped big time. Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? You couldn't come up with something else there? We came face to face. Go
I'm
ahead.
telling you, do you know what I would have loved? And everybody would have hated this, but something I would have loved is Gunther just came out and was like, I haven't been there's no really legends for me to kill, and I'm getting bored back there. I just wanted to beat the shit out of somebody, and
Yeah,
Seth was
that's
annoying
it.
me. You know what I mean?
That
Seth is annoying. Like,
I would
if
have
he
believed
came out,
that.
I would
I
have
hate your
popped
song. I
huge.
hate your song. I hate the crowd.
Oh,
We
you
just
guys
thought
like
it
him now?
worked
Well,
there.
guess what? I'm gonna fuck his life up. Like that. I just because he can. And like, if you ask him, like, why? Because I can. Because I'm
Yeah.
Gunther and I can do it. Like that would have been like kind of awesome. Not gonna lie, kind of awesome. Not great storytelling, but like he's
Bring your wife in the
so
front row
great.
too, because after she loses to AJ, she's gonna see you lose tonight, and you two losers could go back in your bus and get the hell out of here. There you go, right there. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm
Right,
pissed off because you think you're the best wrestler,"
right.
just ridiculous,
Yeah.
ridiculous as ever. Let's move on from there into let's talk about the promo of the night,
Oh,
and I'll let
please.
you lead this because you loved it.
Oh, I loved
The
it so much.
promo of the night. Give it to me.
Listen, you look at someone like Oba Femi, right? He comes out, he has the look, he's got the strength, he's got the power, he's got the entrance song, he's got the dance, he has the aura, the charisma, he has everything. And you're like, when we see big guys out there, sometimes they're not good on the mic. That's why they need a Paul Heyman. That's why they need a manager. Maybe they need a person to talk for them, right? Oba Femi gets on the mic tonight and he's like, guess what? I can talk on the mic too. And I have every single fucking thing that I need to be a star in the WWE. And I absolutely loved it. Every single week, Tommy, you said to me, I don't really know if I like the physicality, like blah, blah. And every week I said, well, where do we go from here? He put him over and like Brock looks scared and all these kinds of things. I love that they waited until this show to put a mic in front of Oba for him to cut this promo. Because if he did this too early on, I think it almost would have oversaturated it. I think it would have almost spoiled it for everybody. But that promo and the look in Paul Heyman's face after he cut that promo was everything you needed to know that Oba Femi is right now the biggest star in the sense of somebody that they have built organically in the WWE to become a star. And that is because of Brock Lesnar. That is because of Paul Heyman. Because Paul Heyman, even doing the negative put over for him, where he's like, you're the fastest growing over person, whatever, but guess what? You're still going to lose. That was him putting him over. If you don't realize that's a Paul Heyman
That's right.
putting somebody over. And that's why Paul Heyman is so fucking good at everything he does because nobody else does that. And I love it because even if you're thinking in your head, like, oh, Paul's going to offer him a job, like, is he going to align with him? No, because guess what? He doesn't need Paul Heyman because he can cut a promo better than most people on the roster. And if you didn't get chills watching that promo, if you're not like, holy shit, my heart is so into this guy winning and beating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I don't know if we were watching the same show because I don't think I've been so invested in someone like I am with Oba Femi in a very long time. And I cannot wait. That is by far the match that I'm looking forward to the most at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and WWE smart with ESPN putting that on first
Mhm.
to get people to watch it, to make them want to buy that. Moving forward, man, if we're going to see stuff like this, it's a smart move by WWE. A lot of people think, oh, you don't put a match like that first or anything, but you got to think it's a social media time right now. It's a little different from back in the day with the chairman and everybody. We had pay-per-view. You would never, give anything away like that at all. I love the promo. The guy's been here a month and a half, maybe. He
Crazy.
is so I've never seen somebody be so The Rock wasn't even over at that time. They hated The Rock before he was The Rock, but he is so over now. When he said 4 weeks, and listen to
Yep.
who he was talking to, Brock Lesnar. Have you ever, and I've been here a long time, and you've been around a while too, seen somebody cut a promo like that on Brock Lesnar? Never, ever in 25 years of WrestleMania matches, you've never seen an opponent cut a promo like Oba did tonight and made it. Here's the best part, Gabby, believable.
Yep.
Made it
Not
believable.
Not only did he cut it on Brock Lesnar, he cut it at Paul Heyman, who's probably one of, if not the best person on the mic of all time. So, like one of the best of all time. He's sitting there, I couldn't even imagine 4 weeks in. And if you told him, oh, by the way, you're going to have a match against Brock Lesnar, you're going to cut a promo on him right in front of Paul Heyman and say it to Paul Heyman's face and not, he didn't stutter. He didn't sound nervous. He hit everything with his emotion. By the way, his accent, the way the slow, like his tone, his pacing, it was perfect. It was perfect. Like you cannot help but be like, I love this guy. And it's been a long time since I've been like, wow, I'm really rooting for this person. I actually give a shit if this person wins or loses. And I think it's a massive loss if he loses, because I don't see it being a long-term feud where it's like, oh, he'll lose and he'll get the rematch and like blah, blah, blah. I don't foresee that. And I think, honestly, if he wasn't originally going to win, after seeing what you see, how do you book that match any differently? Really, how do you book that match any differently? Because when he wins and it's the beginning of WrestleMania, that whole stadium is going to go insane insane. I can't even wait to hear the crowd and just doing his move when he walks out. Like, honestly, the fact that he got through that promo the way he did, like, kudos to him. And it's just, he's incredible. And he's 27 years old. You know what I mean? He's the future for WWE.
You can see Triple H standing back there just licking his chops saying, boy, this guy's the new Brock Lesnar for me. We know Brock's probably going to retire sometime this year. Maybe with the whole Gunther thing that we speculated, that was the favor that he wants from Paul Heyman, that he wants to put another legend away at SummerSlam, where Minneapolis, where Brock is from. We'll see as the months go on there. But I don't see Oba losing at all at WrestleMania. No way, shape, or form. Like you said, the crowd's up. He's probably going to get some pyro, and you could just hear that crowd going, oh, but whatever, how many thousands of people get there, tickets are still on sale, and you got a little discount there. So,
And can I just say, because everyone says, he's the next Brock Lesnar, but do you know what he has that Brock never had, at least in my opinion, is the lovability of the crowd. Like, I've never been like, oh, I love Brock, I love his story and all the stuff where he came from, and I'm really rooting for Brock. Oba has literally captured the WWE universe to like love him and to be behind him. So like, I don't even think he's the next Brock. I think he's the first ever Oba. I've never seen a big man like this be so universally emotionally invested in. Like, his story's incredible. Like, everything about it is good, and he's going into this as, he's a face to me, especially he's going up against Brock, who's such a massive heel. So like, I hate saying he's the next Brock Lesnar. I like saying he's the first fucking Oba Femi.
Yeah,
I've never seen it like this before for anyone.
He's got lots of charisma too, man. For a big guy, he's going to be around a long time.
Yes.
He's menacing as hell. His look is phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal. And in the beginning, because I was there when Brock always had a mouthpiece. He never spoke at all. He was the quiet big giant, never said a word. Always had a manager with him. He never spoke. And look at this guy. He's a month and a half here from NXT, and he's cutting promos like The Rock.
Right.
He's really good. He's only gonna get better. He's only gonna get better. So I can't wait for that match. We'll see how it goes. Let's move forward to talk about what happened on Friday night. And I'll let you go first, and I'll give you my comments, and then we'll get into your interview in a moment. So I'll let you get into this hot garbage that we saw on SmackDown on Friday night.
Listen,
the floor is yours.
Listen, I went into Friday night watching it and being like, you know what, I'm gonna do a reaction immediately after, because I did one on Pat McAfee the week before and it took off. So I was like, I'm going to do it again. I feel like people like that, whatever. I was so disappointed that I was like, I'm not even going to do a reaction because I'm going to regret it. It's like, when you're so emotional, you don't want to say something wrong, and then the next day be like, I went a little too hard. Like, I was like, I can't even do a reaction to this because I popped so hard when he said, I'm saving the business. So now it's 25% off tickets for the next. I popped huge. I was like, there's no way this is there's no way this is real life. But it's real life and it's happening. And I am waiting and praying and hoping that there is a payoff at WrestleMania with a faction or a legend or something to come into play to make it all make sense. I don't know that that's going to happen anymore, because since the reveal, I've kind of felt like that isn't happening, and it is kind of what we're seeing. And now the rumors of the tag, Cody and Jelly Roll with, Pat and Randy. They're getting what they want because we're talking about it, right? This is what they want. Where everybody's talking about it. This is the subject matter. This is whatever it is. Pat had the belt on ESPN today on his show. And I wanted to be like, why the fuck is that okay? Why is every wrestler in the locker room not on social media right now? Like, can we do something about this? Like, this is bullshit. Because that's the realness of it to me, is the disrespect and the craziness of that. And I know Cody was talking about it as well. And he's like, Cody even said, I don't know which podcast he was on today, and he was like, he explained the history between him and Randy. That Randy was his father's last match. He was his first match. Like, he learned so much from Randy. And like, they have all this history, and Pat just doesn't belong in the story. And I think that's the truest thing about it. So I'm very nervous for WrestleMania and this match, because I think it makes sense for Randy to win, but I don't want to see Pat every week with it. So I'm torn, and I just don't. I after SmackDown on Friday, I was like actually stunned by what I saw, because I knew you were going to be angry. I just saw Coach's reaction. He was angry, and I think a lot of fans were very disappointed in it. So, I mean, we'll get to the Damian stuff, but I want your take on it, and then we'll get into my clip of it as well.
Okay, Gabby, you're going to get my take, and you're going to get it big time.
I know.
I was with this company 32 years. 32 years, from 1988 to 2020. We had one leader, one guy making decisions, one guy doing creative with other people. He made the last decision. That was Vince McMahon. You know what you got now? You got nothing but hot garbage. Let me start off with Mr. McAfee, who tries to be the ultimate heel. Cheap heat. That's all he did. That's what we call in the business cheap friggin' heat. When he put his middle finger up in the air, I said, you don't have the right to do that, dude. Only one guy knows that done that, and that's Steve Austin, not you. Cheap friggin' heat. Coming in the crowd, looking cool and everything. He was so over the top that I hated it. I said the week before I loved it because he was Pat McAfee. Now he was trying to be the cheap heat heel, and it doesn't work with a guy like you who's not been in the business. It doesn't work. Oh, it's easy for you to say, look at the fat guy in the first row. Cheap heat. It's all easy to say that CM Punk is that. Cheap heat. That's all it is. And it's not getting over at all. This main event is depending on celebrities with Jelly Roll? Are you friggin' kidding me? That would never happen with the chairman, ever. We had celebrities there like Billy Martin ringing the bell, Burt Reynolds, this one, that one, but they never involved in a storyline. And by the way, the storyline can go miles between the Rhodes and the Orton family, like you just said. They didn't hit none of that. And people are pissed off. Guys in the back are pissed off that you got Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll possibly being involved in this main event. What are we doing? And you know what? I don't blame it all on Triple H. His friggin' legs are cut off. We got guys like Ari Emanuel who doesn't know shit about the business. Mark Shapiro, all he does is count money. And big fat cat Nick Khan, are you kidding me? You know what you should be doing? You should be selling friggin' media, not storylines. Triple H legs are cut off. It is a joke. We had one leader. And I'm calling it out right now. Man, you want this company to succeed? Bring back Vince McMahon. Bring him back, because this is a joke. A main event with Orton, the history of the family. Rhodes, the history of the family. And we got celebrities like Pat McAfee with his friggin' cheap heat trying to be cool. You're not a heel, dude. You'll never be a heel. You'll never be Steve Austin. You'll never be The Rock. Not even close. It is just a travesty of the garbage that I watched on Friday night. And now we got Jelly Roll involved. Man, I feel bad for Cody Rhodes. I really do, man.
Yeah.
I watched him on a couple of podcasts. He's not happy. And that's leading me to guys who work their ass off in the ring, like Damian Priest, leading it, who's not even on the card. Jelly Roll's there. Pat McAfee is there. It's a friggin' joke. And you had an interview with Damian Priest, and I'll let you talk about it. It's a travesty. Bring back Vince.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioned Damian Priest. I just interviewed him for my show on Gabby AF, and I asked him his thoughts on it, and this is what he had to say. We just saw the Pat McAfee kind of thing unfold or whatever. I would love to get your thoughts on that, if it's something.
It sucks. Not a fan. Somebody who knows Pat, get along with him, but for me, that's not my taste. I don't think it helps anything. He didn't need it. So for me, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't gonna be happy that I said that, but in the locker room specifically, like, a lot of us weren't happy, and that's real. Like, I was asked by some of the younger talent, like, what did I think? And I thought it was bull. We're a PG show, right? But he could come in and he could throw F-bombs and say whatever he wants. For me, that's like one of those things that so many other talent, even from one word, could benefit. And it's like, wow, now they're up here. Instead, you take somebody who's not even here all the time and gets away with saying something like that, who doesn't even need it. Not gonna lie, it kind of pissed me off.
We just saw. Yeah, he was very candid with me about it. And if you want to watch the full episode, it's really great. We talk about a lot of stuff. He doesn't do a lot of interviews, and he really got real with me. It was an awesome interview. Go to youtube.com/@GabbyAF show if you want to watch the whole thing. But he's not wrong. Everything he says isn't a lie. Pat McAfee's coming out middle fingers in the air that they're blacking out all this stuff, and nobody else can do that. It's like, why does he get to do that? And I think it would be weird if they weren't unhappy in the back for it. It's become an oversaturation of celebrities. I mean, we saw tonight a video package of iShow Speed Training. Why? Give me a video package of a reason why I should be liking somebody on the roster and some kind of emotional investment of somebody on the roster. I don't care that iShow Speed is training for a match. Great. He should be. He's not a wrestler. And here's the thing that makes me the angriest, because I get more angry about the influencers, honestly, than anything else. And maybe it's just because I'm bitter. But influencers with millions of followers, I get it. Oh, he had over 128 million views, by the way. The views of Logan Paul, I don't know if you caught that tonight, Tommy. Logan Paul throwing iShow Speed into the whatever to cost them the titles was like 128 million views.
Wow.
I get why it's important, but also it's like, why views have just like taken over like good product now. And it's just, I don't know why just because something has so many views, because somebody has so many followers means that it's good for business, because it doesn't. It's like these influencers that start podcasts or do other things because they have the following. They're not good at it because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. But yeah, he's athletic. He's 21 years old. It's probably, by the way, he's probably going to show up and he's going to be good in the match. And that's the thing. He will be. But why do we need it? We don't. If you would invest in the fucking roster you have of the talent that show up every single day, train every single day, and this is their career, and make us like them. Carmelo Hayes isn't on the card. Damian Priest isn't on the card. R-Truth isn't on the card. Champions aren't on the card. What, you couldn't make some space for that? Like, I just don't. That's where my anger as a fan comes from. When I see people that I want to see because I watch your fucking product every single week and I buy the pay-per-views and I do all these things and I love it and I talk about it and I bring my friends in to watch it and I'll buy the merch and I'll do the shit. But like, you can't give me a fucking match with people that I've been watching for years that I love, but you know what I mean? But we want the consumers that don't watch WWE to watch it. So we'll get the guy with 128 million followers. It's a slap in the face as a fan sometimes. And it's hard. It's I say my relationship with the WWE is like the boyfriend. It's the ex-boyfriend that I keep going back to. You know, they reel me back in with a really good story, like an Oba Femi or something. But then like they hit me, they cheat on me because they bring out Pat McAfee and now I have to break up with them again. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. They just confuse me. But it's sad to me because we have no new stars. Oba Femi aside, there's no new stars. And the stars that are there, the Carmelo Hayes, the people that you could be strapping the rocket to and shipping off, you're not giving a match at WrestleMania to even see how they would fare well on. But no, we'll give it to the guy with all the followers. Great. And I get why you're doing it. I know from a business sense, it makes sense. I'm not stupid. It's just, you can't not be frustrated. And when I sit down with Damian fucking Priest, who's incredible, and he's representing the locker room because some of the guys come to him and say like, dude, is this okay? And he says that, and he doesn't, and he's by the way, a tag team champion with R-Truth, who's massively over as well, and you can't give them a match on the card. Like, it's hard, man. It exhausts me. And I don't like going negative. You know this about me. I try to be the positive one between the two of us because you just ranted and almost popped a blood vessel out of your head. But like, what do we do here, Tommy? You know, it's just the truth.
It's ridiculous. And let me take a guy like Damian Priest, who I've been a fan from day one. When we started the show with me and Coach doing our stuff, I love Damian Priest because I came from international television and we were looking for always the next Latino star. We had Rey Mysterio. Vince wanted somebody new. They tried Sin Cara. They tried this one. And from day one, when I saw Damian Priest and I preached about it, there's your guy who could bring in more of the Latino audience. He knows the language. I think he's Puerto Rican. He's got a great look. He works his ass off. And he's not even in WrestleMania this year. That is a travesty that he is not, out of all the superstars, that he is not in WrestleMania. And you know why this is happening? Because we have imbeciles running this country, running this company, because they didn't grow up in the business at all. Ari doesn't care. None of these guys care. Oh, he wanted to bring Pat in because he wants to make him the next Sylvester Stallone. He can care less about WWE. Long as he's raking in the money, he doesn't care. But he hurts the product. Hurts the product. This is a main event that we're talking about, where there's history with the family. And we got none of that. None of that.
Can you read what Michael Haleman said? The Pat McAfee situation reminds me of when WCW put the world title on David Arquette.
No, that was a joke.
That was before my time of me watching.
That was a joke. But it's just, you watch SmackDown and then you tell me about the discount of tickets and this and that. I mean, really? Really? Yeah. They've gotten so desperate they were selling the skull mask from Triple H tonight. That would never happen back in the day with me.
By the way,
chairman there. Never.
Jim said, Jim Bowslice 630. Mella has been one of the best things about SmackDown for 8 months now, and he doesn't have a match. It's BS. I completely agree with you. I went off about this. And by the way, if you want to listen to they don't listen to the fan base, but Sami Zayn came out and they all booed him. And because they know it's wrong. And Sami said, I don't even know I'm getting booed and I don't care. But also, Sammy's not the one to get booed. You think he's not going to be like, okay, cool, you're putting the title on me? Great. He's not going to say no. You know what I mean? He's the talent. He's doing what he's being told. It's not his fault. It's like, listen, I love that he's getting booed because I think bullshit that Carmelo is not going to be involved in WrestleMania with that after literal 8 months of being on SmackDown and being a highlight. And really, I think he has star written all over him as well if they do it correctly and if they allow him to do that.
Yep.
Same with Trick Williams. Trick Williams
Yep.
is massively over. But like, he needs Lil Yachty to come out with him. Like, he doesn't need it. And that was something Damian was saying was, the thing is, it's Randy fucking Orton. He doesn't need Pat. And that's what it comes down to. It's not like a nobody getting a shot. It's not a new guy who's like can help. This is Randy Orton. Why is Randy Orton the side player in his own feud?
Yeah.
Pat McAfee is leading Randy Orton into the match. What are we doing?
Yep.
I hear Pat talking about it more than Randy. Literally, like, why doesn't Randy walking around with the title being a jerk about it? Like, in what world is he the accessory when he's going to be when he should be the champion? He doesn't need it. He's Randy Orton. That's where it's hard for me to swallow. It's a hard pill for me to swallow because it's taking it. I know you say poor Cody Rhodes. I say poor Randy Orton because I don't think it's helping him either.
It's honestly a joke. It really is. After watching that garbage on Friday night, that was a joke of jokes of all times. And I like Pat. I like
Me too.
I think he's really good. He's phenomenal on College Game Day. You know why? Because he knows college football. You think you know this business because you did commentary for a year? No, that doesn't work like that. This is totally different than anything you ever seen in your life with pro wrestling. It's totally different. You have to be there a while. You have to learn it, feel it. You have nothing. It's easy to come out to act like a jerk, give everybody the finger, call somebody fat, cheap heat, man.
Yeah.
It's friggin' brutal.
I think it would be
just terrible.
I think, and here's the thing, like, I love Pat. I've always loved Pat. Like you said, like, I really am a fan of him in every way. And I don't even think he's a bad promo. I actually think he's good. And if he leans into the fact of like, yeah, I'm here and like, you think I don't belong here, but I'm here and like, blah, blah, but not for WrestleMania in a main event match. Like, if you want to do it and use Pat, do it. Cool. Do it for a different show and like have some fun with it. Like, I think for the Super Bowl of wrestling, the fact that this is where you choose to do it is wild decision making. Wild.
If you wanted to do this, they should have did this storyline 2 months ago.
Why not?
They should have done it 2 months ago, but it's just hard for them to create storylines. This whole WrestleMania card has been thrown together, man.
That's the thing. It doesn't feel like long-term story booking.
No, there's no long-term anymore. That's out the friggin' window. So, enough. I'm not going to bore the everybody watching. And what's that say? Bring back house shows.
So they don't all keep getting hurt.
Yeah,
he talks about that too. He wants to bring back house shows. That's something he said.
So we're going to give you some of our WrestleMania predictions, and we're going to start out with Saturday. So Double D, if you throw some WrestleMania graphics there, Gabby, start it off, and I'll follow you.
All right, I will go through it. So this is for Saturday.
Yes.
We are going Rhodes Orton. I think Orton has to win because there's no way Orton's losing now just for Pat to never be talking about wrestling ever again, which is what he said. So I think Orton's going to win. I'm hoping this becomes something more digestible than that. And I love Cody Rhodes, but another year of some bullshit getting into Cody Rhodes' storyline. It's kind of story of his life at this point.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think they're going to give Orton the 15th. I think he needs it. I think Cody needs a break for a while. I think he needs to chase the title once again, and it's only going to make, hopefully, the product better. So,
yeah,
that's my thoughts on that one. Go ahead.
All right. Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer. Put it back on Liv Morgan. I don't mind Stephanie Vaquer. I like her a lot. I think she needs a manager. I think she needs someone to speak for her, to have her connect to the audience. Hint, hint. By the way, I'm throwing this out there, and this is something very random, but I want it to be said that I'm might be predicting it first. There was rumors like a year ago that Kathy Kelly was training to become a manager. She was at the Performance Center taking classes, whatever, and it's a rumor. It's not confirmed or whatever it is. I don't know. And I don't think they would let an interviewer take a bump or do something if it didn't mean something, right? Like, why was there another reason Kathy Kelly took that bump tonight? Could we see Kathy Kelly be the manager of Stephanie Vaquera because it was during that segment? Maybe. Someone who's very much loved in the universe, been around for a while, and they all like her. It could help. I think a mouthpiece for Stephanie Vaquera could help her in the future. But we need this. We need Liv Morgan to win this back. Way too many storylines with Raquel, Roxanne to move forward. So my money's on Liv Morgan.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm with you. I'm with you on this. I think Liv elevates that title once she grabs it. Her emotion, the way she acts in the ring, you feel it. It's real emotion. I feel it, and I think the way she is a heel, a big time heel, she's going to elevate that title big time.
Yeah. Gunther Rollins. I think that Braun gets involved and makes Seth lose, not clean, obviously. And then that will build the story to Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins finally having their feud come to a head.
Yeah, I can't see either one of these guys losing this match. I think it hurts both of them big time if they do, especially Gunther, since he's been the legend killer for the past 6 months. And if he loses to Rollins, I mean, you lose all that steam right then and there. And I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think there's going to be some sort of screwed up finish where Braun comes out, and maybe if Seth loses, Braun comes out, distracts him, and then Gunther beats him, something like that. So I like the idea of Braun. Now you set up Braun and Rollins, and you got a little thing going on there.
Yeah. And he doesn't need to do anything physical if he's not 100% yet, but I know he's on the road to it. So I think he could
Yep.
definitely get involved there. Becky Lynch, AJ Lee. It's hard because I don't need to see Becky as champion, but I think it moves the division forward with Becky as champion because she can have matches every week. She can be involved every week. She's someone in the ring that can have a good match with a lot of the people on the roster and kind of build some storylines that way. So I'm going with Becky Lynch, even though she doesn't need it. I just know that AJ is not someone right now that I think is going to be putting on a match defending the title every single week. And I don't know what that's going to do for the women's division moving forward. So I have to say Becky.
Please, please let it be Becky and AJ. Take your little booty shorts and go on your way and live in Chicago, please.
Oh my gosh.
Because Becky is a star, and you need a star to have that title.
Yeah.
And she's the one that could bring you back. It could go back to Bailey again. It could go to Charlotte if we wanted to move. Man, who would want to see Becky and Charlotte go at it one more time?
Right.
I will. I'll tell you that right now. Becky all the way. Short and sweet.
Yeah. We got the women's tag team championship fatal four-way. Alexa and Charlotte, Lyra, Bailey, Lash, and Nia, and then the Bellas. Which, listen, this is kind of, I know who I definitely don't want to win. Definitely not Charlotte and Alexa. I think moving forward, Lyra and Bailey make the most sense to win that because I want to see the feud between them boil and come to a head at some point because I love Bailey and I think they're trying to build Lyra in some kind of way and we see them so much. So I think it's going to be Bailey and Lyra with everything we've seen, but I could also see them putting it on some legends in the Bellas to make them show up every single week because they're so in the media and they bring so much attention to the product. But I'm going to say Bailey and Lyra.
I got to tell you, I don't know the status of Nikki Bella. She's hurt and stuff like that. But if she's not hurt and she's okay, I think the Bellas are going to win. But I'm with you. I'd rather see it be Bailey and Lyra. Give Bailey a bone, please. I mean, she's been working hard.
Couldn't even win in her hometown on Friday. They had to have her lose.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. They're the opposite of Sami Zayn with her because they love Sami Zayn, but I don't know. Bailey gets no respect at all.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah, and I think it's actually going to be the Bellas.
I hope. Listen, I love the Bellas.
I don't want that, but
I love them. I wouldn't mind it, but we'll see. I think a lot of things can open up. But then we got McIntyre and Fatu, which I haven't even really thought about that much, to be quite honest with you. But I want to see Drew win just because I like Drew McIntyre. But I kind of think it needs to go to Fatu at this point because Jacob Fatu is such a
Wow.
weapon, and I fucking love him, man. He is so impressive, and I think this is a massive win on his belt to beat somebody like Drew McIntyre on a stage at like WrestleMania. So I'm saying Fatu.
Yeah, and it's unsanctioned, which means nothing. It means
Right.
like who cares who wins or anything like that. They have screwed Drew so many times.
Right.
I'm with you. I think Jacob has probably ended up winning this match.
Yeah, and then we have the 6-man tag with the Usos, LA Knight, Logan, Austin, and I Show Speed. Unfortunately, I think I Show Speed is going to put on a great match with Logan and Austin, and they're going to retain the titles.
I agree with you totally. I think they want Logan and Austin to carry the titles. The Usos really don't need it. They're popular enough, and LA Knight is in left field somewhere. So I agree with you. Logan and Theory will do a better keeping the titles, and it helps elevate Logan even more.
And I'm telling you, I hate saying it, but I think that match is going to be really good. Like, I think I Show Speed's going to be great.
It's a good athlete. He's a good athlete.
It's just the bitterness in my heart. I'm like, ugh, I hate that an influencer is doing all this stuff. But it is what it is. All right, night 2, obviously, we'll get to the main event after, but Oba and Lesnar, you know where I stand. Oba all the fucking way, and I cannot wait to hear that place erupt when he beats Brock Lesnar.
What if they pull a swerve and they make Brock win like we never saw Taker losing? That's what I'm wondering. Does it hurt Oba? I'm not sure. But I'm with you. I think Oba's going to win, but everybody thinks Oba's going to win. And that swerve could still happen where it really won't hurt Oba that much. He's still young and he can come back at the next pay-per-view at Backlash or whatever with Brock. So I'm with you. I think Oba's going to win because that place will literally freaking explode because he's so over right now. But that swerve could happen, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think it could. I hope it doesn't because I hope this will start Brock maybe being like, I want to retire. Like maybe I don't have it anymore. Like have that shadow of doubt in his mind to lead to the end of the year. I make up these own stories in my head, by the way, but that's why it's great. Obviously, we have the ladder match. McDonough, Lee, Penta, Evans, Mysterio, Rusev. I think
Ray's in there, right? Yeah, Ray.
And Ray. Yeah. Sorry, did I not say Ray? But I think this is going to be.
I think they're going to try to make this off the charts. This match, I think
it's going to be one of the most entertaining matches of the entire weekend that we're going to be talking about. But it's kind of under the radar, even though there's so much talent in it, because we're like, oh, we know these guys can do these flips and do these jumps and do all these things. I hope Ray wins. I love Ray. I think it would be awesome. And then have him win and then Gunther just lay him out or something. You know what I mean? Like, I still popped huge when everyone was like, Rey Mysterio finally showed up when Gunther already had a match because he didn't want to be ended by him. Like, he showed up after Gunther was in the match with, he didn't want to die. But I'm going Rey just because that's where my heart is and I love Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I think they might give the title to Rey. Could piss off Dom. And I think something could lead somewhere down the road. So I'm big time Rey on that.
Speaking of Dom, we're going to see Dom against the Demon and Finn Balor. You better have Finn Balor win this one, man. Like, I love Demon Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor should not be slept on. I think people forget about him a lot, and I don't know why because he's so damn good. And I think if he doesn't win, someone interferes. It's a dirty loss in some way where the feud then continues. But if not, I would love to see the Demon beat Dom and see the cracks in the Judgment Day really start to epically open up.
I love that it's Demon. I think Dominic's going to put on a show like no other, crap in his pants, watching this guy come in the ring. I think he's gonna put on a show, man. And I agree. I think Demon goes over big time.
Rhea and Jade, we kind of already hit on this as well. I'm going Jade. I think it doesn't make sense for the WWE to not invest fully in Jade and continue on it with her as champion. So I'm picking Jade above Rhea Ripley, Rhea who doesn't need it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I like Jade also. We can go a couple of ways here with Charlotte. Who knows? Maybe Bianca's going to be back very soon, and then you can go Bianca. Jade. Rhea really doesn't need it. The crowd loves her. She could still main event with a bunch of other women superstars. I'm big time Jade on this.
Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Trick Williams all the way. Sammy's already getting booed. I can't wait for him to get booed at WrestleMania, for Trick to just get overly massive people chanting his song, him coming out. And I think they're going to go nuts if they decide to put the title on him. If they don't, I think it's going to be a massive miss for WWE to be building a star in Trick Williams coming out of WrestleMania.
Saturday and Sunday, right? We got new guys, Oba going over, young guy going over. Right here, don't miss this, WWE. It's got to be Trick. It has to be. He's young. He is unbelievable. And now it's time to let the young guys take the ball and run with it. I'm going with Trick Williams all the way. I love it. So,
and then we got Roman Punk. You already know I'm going Roman Reigns all the way. I think he is beating CM Punk. And I think the crowd will still be happy to see it. And I think it's time for Roman Reigns to get that title back.
Yeah, I think it's time for Roman again. And my question to you is, do you think after, and I don't know how long this battle is going to go, do you think they end up shaking hands in the middle of the ring?
Yeah, I do. After the promo tonight, I do.
Yeah.
If I think that was not the promo on Raw tonight, I would have been like, honestly, no. But after seeing that, I think they do. And I think we don't see Punk for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to, he got the title. He came back. That's what he wanted. He got his WrestleMania match. And I think it's Roman time now. And we'll see where we go from there. So,
yeah, I agree.
All right. That's about it on our part here. I got a little house cleaning to do. Gabby,
yes,
great job as ever. You have any last words before I end the show?
No, guys, it's WrestleMania week. Listen, I know we went a little negative on some stuff we don't like, but that's the beauty of this business. Let's go into it hoping to be surprised by some stuff. I know we're going to love some stuff. We're going to come out hating it. We're going to talk about it next Monday too. But I try to always go in positive. And I've gone into WWE pay-per-views before and been like, I'm not excited for this at all. And they shock me and knock me out off my feet. And I'm like, wow, that was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. I'm holding on to hope that that's what's going to happen for some of these matches and some of these storylines. But, everyone have fun while watching it. And we still love pro wrestling. What can you do? It's tough.
Yep. It's WrestleMania week, and we have SmackDown on Friday night, so we'll see what happens with McAfee, Orton, and the rest of the crew there. Who knows? Maybe another star will come out. Another celebrity. We'll see what happens.
Who knows?
But for myself and BTT Studios, a little house cleaning here. I'm going to let you know what's coming up on our brand tomorrow. Tomorrow, the 2 count with the coach and JD from New York, 11:30. Make sure you check them out on YouTube there. Make sure you hit the notifications and subscribe so you know what all the stuff's going on. And then on Thursday, Big Coach and Bro, they're going to replay the Tony Khan interview, and that's at 4:30 on Thursday. You could check it out on Stadium and on YouTube. It was a once-in-a-lifetime interview. They got things out of Tony Khan that you never thought you would get out of him, and only Coach and Bro can do that. Our brand is growing every day, and we're doing a watch-along with WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. We will let you know in social media, and Coach will let you know what is going on, when we're going to do it, and we're going to go from there. As for me, check us out every Monday right after Raw with the last word with myself, Big Tommy C, my partner in crime, Gabby. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. See ya.